Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Vigaro's monthly webinar. And Catherine and I just want to do a little bit of a sound check. So could you let us know that if you can hear us? Because we're just about to get started. We've got about 30 seconds on the clock. So could you send us a little note that all is good? We would be so grateful. Alexa, I think you're online. Maybe you could let us know.
Thank you, Christine.
Oh, thanks, Christine. Thanks, Kyla.
Excellent. Well,
so it's 11 o'clock. Let's get started.
All right, let's get this party started.
I am so excited today, Catherine, because we've got a fantastic topic.
Yes, we have. And you know, it's one of the things I love to talk about. So
absolutely.
Not that I don't love to talk about it all. But,
I know, but there's some topics that are more exciting than others, right?
Near and dear to my heart.
Exactly. But before we get started, let me introduce ourselves. We are Aileen and Catherine. We are the Profitable Salon Owner. And of course, our motto is getting salon profitable fast. And believe me, this season coming up can help you get profitable so fast. It'll make your head spin. So I hope you really enjoy the information that we're going to bring to you today.
Absolutely. Because what we're going to talk about today is for sure a little bit, we're going to talk about how to make this holiday season really profitable for your business. And even though you haven't started anything yet, we are going to share with you closer to the end of the webinar some really good things that you can implement in no time at all and help you actually do more in this next while.
The most important thing about the next 6 weeks is that if you do everything correctly, you are actually setting yourself up for an extremely profitable new year. And, you know, we always look at January, February as being a bit slow, you know, like the holiday rush is over. And now all of a sudden we have to contend with, you know, different season, et cetera, et cetera. But if you do what it takes to be profitable and do all those things right now in this season, you are going to have an exceptionally good 2016. Yeah. And by that we mean, of course, the 3 R's, and that's retail, rebook, and refer with every single client that sits in your chair. If you just remember to make sure that you present product to everybody who sits in your chair, make sure you rebook everybody who sits in your chair, because what you're rebooking them for, of course, is January and February.
Absolutely. And I have some great ideas. Further down into the webinar, we have some really good ideas for a couple of little things that are easy to implement that you can start immediately, that is going to make sure that your January and your February is really good for you.
And busy. Right? And of course, your referrals, because this is the time of year when more people are coming into your salon. So you have access to a wider base of your clients during the next 6 weeks. So again, ask each and every one of them if they will refer you as the stylist of choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. And for all our, US friends, you still have Thanksgiving, which is a huge holiday in the US.
Yep.
You still have Thanksgiving to go through and the rest of the holiday season.
Exactly. So I want you to think here, today is November 16th, and we are looking at about 6 weeks to end of year.
Yeah.
So you've got 6 weeks to make hay. And of course, one of the most important things that you can do during the holiday season is
hold an event.
You got it. And okay, let's talk a little bit about that, Catherine, because honestly, you're the queen of events. You have done more with events at your space and done unbelievable numbers. In fact, did you not just have an event?
We actually just had 2 events in our space. And again, further down in the webinar, I have pictures of the ads that we used, and also the some pictures of how we set things up. I really believe that this time of year we need to plan ahead. And we need to have events going on. So we just had a skincare event, which we hold every fall. And then the other thing that we just had last week was a gift card event. And with those 2 things, now remember, I have a really big salon spa. With those 2 events, we brought in $50,000 in income.
For sure. Okay. So yes, she's got a very large salon. So if you think about it in terms of percentages, Catherine's talking about a 6,500 square foot salon, but 1,500 square foot salon, you should be able to do 25% of that, right? So we're talking about $12,500 that you can generate in a 1,500 square foot space.
And I don't care how big your space is. It can be just you.
Yes.
You know, it's taking the time, making the effort to actually plan some of these events, because it doesn't matter. You still need guests and clients. You still need to show appreciation to those people. And this is one way of doing it, but helping you to make money at the same time.
You know, one of the things we were talking about before we got started today, Catherine, was on events, because what we've talked about events in the past, and what you find is that salons or stylists or any kind of service provider will put on an event, but it doesn't generate the type of income that they think that it's going to do the first time. And so they get a little discouraged, and that's it. It falls flat.
Oh, I've tried that. It doesn't
work.
But here's the thing. If, you're going to learn from it. Exactly. Every single time. Do you think the very first time that we put on an event that it was like super successful? No.
I don't think so.
And we've put on events in the past that have fallen flat. But what we did is we learned from those things, and we grew and changed and made inroads to better events, better understanding what it was that our clients wanted. So, there's lots of types of events. Right now we're talking about holiday events. That's going to be, as we go through this, we're going to talk about holiday events. But I mean, customer appreciation events. Yes, Christmas and holiday events for sure. And plan it months in advance, not 2 minutes in advance.
Exactly. Because, again, if you're really with it and your marketing calendar, you should already be sitting down with your 2016 calendar and looking at the events that you want to hold next year. Like a gift certificate sale, like that might be a fantastic thing to hold at Mother's Day.
For sure.
The informational or scope analysis event, that could be Wednesday. Oh, I know, spring and fall both have, we have seasonal shedding during those times of year. That would be a fantastic time to hold.
But any kind of informational event, for skincare, for hair, a blow dry
class or whatever.
Anything like that. A new product launch. When new product launches, do you let your clients know? How do you let your clients know? Have a little bit of a product launch. It doesn't need to be huge.
It doesn't. It's just an excuse to have people in your door, because the more that your name is out there and the more times that your clients come to visit you and feel tied to you, the more they are going to be your referral partners, and the more they are going to draw other people in. So it's amazing how these events can actually create a ripple effect to your business.
Yeah. And we usually tie our events in with some kind of fundraiser. So, for instance, with our skincare event, we charge $10 for a ticket. So people have to buy tickets. And actually, it works to our advantage, because one time we didn't sell tickets. We had 125 people show up. We have a big space, but 85 is about what we can do comfortably.
Yes.
So but then again, so all the proceeds from these ticket sales, so if we have 85 people, that's $850 that go to a charity of our choice.
That's fantastic.
And, we have done angel hair for kids in the past. This past time, we partnered with Eminence with their children's fundraiser, and we sent the money to the children's fundraiser, sick kids. So that, partner things with fundraisers, because it really does help to set the tone.
It does. And people are more drawn to work with you because they think, oh, that's great. I think I'll go. And, sometimes if you have an oversell tickets, because in the end, if you sell 100 tickets, probably there's a good chance 10 to 15% won't show up, but they'll buy the tickets.
Yeah, that's true. And really, we've been really fortunate. People buy our tickets.
They show up.
Yeah. And we only once, now, and it's typical, and I hear people say that we only once ever had somebody buy a ticket, couldn't come and ask for their money back.
Can you believe that?
$10 for a fundraiser. But these things are going to happen, and
yes.
That's okay. Just roll with the punches.
You got it.
So, and trade shows, I think, look at and see what kind of trade shows are in your area for aesthetics and hair. Women's shows are really, really good.
They are. And it's surprising how few salons and spas actually attend trade shows. So you can be a standout in your field by being part of it, because no one else is. So take advantage of that.
And if it's, I thought we, at the women's show that we did this past year here, there was a salon right next to us. We did it for our hair loss business. And there was a salon right next to us, and they did a really good job.
They did a super job.
They were curling people's hair. They were selling tools. What they were selling. They sold
a heck of a lot of tools, but they also had part of the stage presentation as well, and got a lot of attention, which was really fantastic.
So, ultimately, what is your goal when you do any of these things?
It's sales. It's not to have a glass of wine with friends, although that is very nice. But your ultimate goal is to increase your sales and to generate revenues for your business.
Hear, hear.
So when you are planning, you have to really keep that event, that whole goal in mind. You have to think about, what it is that you're selling at your event.
So what we're going to kind of go through, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this right now, because I do think if you haven't planned an event at this point, you're probably a little late to plan an event.
For Christmas, perhaps.
But I really want you to think about next year.
Yes. And what because you can have an event in January or February. You could have Valentine's.
You can do lots of different things, but I want you to think ahead. And the other thing, we can send you the PDF of this presentation, which kind of has all the outline in it, so that you can kind of think about it and go through it when you're ready to plan your next event. And then towards the end of our webinar is when we're going to really get into the meat and potatoes of what you can do now.
Right now. Right this minute.
All right, and let's get going, Aileen. I don't want to double click there. Okay, so the event.
Well, you really need to think about these 4 questions when you're sitting down to plan an event. And please make sure that you have a pen and paper handy. As I said, if you ask us, we'll send you this PDF, so everything is sort of done for you, and you just have to really answer the questions and follow through with the prompts. So the event, you need to know, what is it?
Yeah, what kind of event are you going to have? Is it going to be a blow dry event? Is it going to be a skincare event?
Is it going to be a styling event? Anything.
Yeah.
What is your event going to be?
Yeah. And now, who's going to attend?
Not only who is going to attend, but how many would you like to attend? Because, within your client base, you are going to have a whole range of clients. So you need to decide who that target market is.
Yes. And one thing I will tell you, everyone, I don't care who you are, what business you're in, we all have a top 20%. We have 20% of our clients spend 80% of the money with us. So those 20% of your top clients, those are the ones you're going to send out personal invitations to.
Exactly, because don't forget that 20% are also your greatest fans, and they are going to be the ones that will bring friends along, that will bring referrals. So they're the number one attraction that you want.
Yeah. And what's the main purpose for the event? So for instance, with our skincare event that we hold twice a year, what's the main purpose for our event? It's twofold. One is to sell skincare and have clients try new skincare. We bring in great promotions for that event. But the other one, and I think this is highly important, is that we want clients to pre-book facials.
Yes.
Because if we can sell facials, we can sell product.
So in other words, Catherine, it seems to me that you're selling services.
Exactly.
There you go. So you have to really think about it. What is the main purpose for the event? So for example, if you're doing a brand new product launch, it's to make sure that you get new product into the hands of your current clients to give them something new to play with.
And for goodness sake, do not get people excited about something if you don't have it for sale.
Oh, which reminds me, Campbell Soups did a marketing survey, and they said that you basically need 18 pieces of one product to get one piece off the shelf, because you've got to have it represented well.
Yes, I totally agree. So if your top 10 products should be more than well represented on your shelf at all times.
One or two is not going to cut it.
Yeah, but that's a whole other webinar.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the new year.
Yeah. So theme for your event, what is the theme? Exactly what are you going to do? Is it going to be, for instance, in our skincare, it's an organic skincare line that we represent. So the theme was organic, so fruits, vegetables, but all organic types of, we had those displayed. So that was our theme, keeping it organic.
I love that. And that actually kind of goes into keeping with the next one. Will you be serving food or drinks? And is it part of the theme? Right? So you want to start thinking about tying things in. Yeah. Do keep in mind, though, that if you are serving drinks, you probably need a liquor license. Check your local and municipal bylaws and everything to find out what it is that you need to do.
So we used to get an event license for alcohol, but we took the trouble and went through the steps to actually get a liquor license for our space. So we now can legally sell or give alcohol on the premises. So, and we had to jump through a lot of hoops.
Yeah, and of course it varies not only from province to province, but from municipality. But in the United States, it's going to often vary from county to whatever. So really think about that. And to be honest, if you give somebody a drink before, they're far more likely to be a little embarrassed.
It loosens up the purse strings.
You got it.
I
didn't know whether I really wanted to say that.
Oh no, I'm
it's
okay.
True.
I mean that's true. That's the way it is. Just don't let them have more than two.
You got it. Be cognizant that you're responsible for when they leave the building.
Yeah, for sure. Will there be a guest speaker? Sometimes we do have a guest speaker on hand. Sometimes we don't. But what is it you always say, Aileen? An expert is?
Anyone from 50 miles away.
Yeah, because oftentimes they won't listen. They hear us all the time, so they don't listen to us as much as they would if you bring somebody in. So we usually will have some kind of guest speaker. And it can be somebody local, but just not known to them.
Exactly, right? No. And just keep that in mind that, they can be, from the next community. Yeah. But, we all get sort of what we call mother death. Yeah. You don't hear the same person speaking all the time.
And what would be a good slogan for your event? Catchy titles are good.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to get your event known in the beginning.
Yes, exactly. Like we had a great tagline for the hair loss was beautiful hair begins with a beautiful scalp. Yeah. Right. So think about that, and of course it's really fun to brainstorm.
Yes, for sure. And timeline. And this is actually more critical than you think.
It is, because, like what we're talking about right now, it's like we've really run out of time to get an event in place right before Christmas happens. And that's why we really want you to think about what you're going to be doing in the new year, because you need to start promoting the event at least 6 weeks out, which means that you need to do your prep well before that 6-week period. You have to have everything in place before you even start promoting.
So, and timing, weekday, weekend, evening, what is going to work? Is it going to be, let's say for a client appreciation event, is it going to be a whole week long? Now, I did just see somebody that I have consulted in the past in Ontario, and she just, this week, she's having a whole week of customer appreciation events, and there's different things on different days, which is great.
I think that's really exciting, because it allows the business to promote every single day on what's going on in the salon, and perhaps somebody misses it on Monday, they might say, oh, I'll pop in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, I think that has some merit too. But I mean, there are things like, for instance, with our skincare event, We always do. We usually do either on a Sunday afternoon or a Monday evening. And that seems to work well for us. Sunday afternoons actually seem to work probably the best for us. After church is over and
after brunch
and before people have to go home for dinner.
Yeah.
So, and it's a 2.5 hour event it was a 2 hour event. And, it was like $18,000 in 2 hours.
That works for me.
Now there's a lot of prep that goes into that. And the team in my salon that put it on are brilliant. I have one of my co-owners who is in the spa. She does events brilliantly, but has learned over the years how to do this.
So so what Catherine is actually saying is find someone within your business, or even yourself if you're the best one, but who can take the time to do the planning, right? Because you need somebody who is passionate about it.
And think about this. If you are a chair or a booth renter and you're on your own, ask some of the other people in your space if they would be interested in doing something like this with you. I mean, it's going to benefit everyone.
Absolutely.
So, get creative.
Yeah. In fact, one of our favorite local salons, who is Booth Red, they held a fantastic event where everybody was invested in it, and it was an amazing show.
And it worked for everyone. Everyone, I'm sure benefited from that greatly. So, I mean, there's all different types of things, but get people excited about doing this because it does really help. So as we said, start promoting the event at least 6 weeks out. So that means that you need a good 10 to 12 weeks ahead of time to start planning. So like I said, we really want to do an event every quarter. So every 3 months, we want to have something that we're doing. So when we finish one, we start planning the next one.
You got it. And sometimes you have to overlap. You start planning it before the first one is even over. Think ahead, right?
All right. So what's your budget? Here's the kicker. You may not have much budget, but that's okay. At least you have established what it is that you can do. But there's some great ways that you can get around that. I mean, you're going to need, if you want to do food, I would really say keep it small.
Keep it very small.
Yeah.
Most people, and the thing is that it is going to be predominantly the female clientele that you're going to be attracting.
For sure.
And so really think about it. Most women aren't there to eat. They might be there to nibble. So you just want little bite-sized pieces of food. And a lot of the times you can just get away with crudités. So, it's not a big deal.
And I mean, buying a couple of boxes of wine is not that expensive.
Exactly.
But it really is nice for people to come in and have a little glass of wine. And if people don't drink, have something else, have another choice for them.
Have a Perrier,
sparkling water,
exactly,
or whatever.
Right?
So it doesn't have to be expensive. And buy-in of special promotions. If I'm doing something, I'm always going to go to one of my distributors, whoever, and find out if they have something sitting in their warehouse that they would like to give me a really good deal on an amount of it, so that I can offer the savings to my client.
Exactly.
Because it's like a lost leader.
That's right. And, remember that the whole premise behind having an event is actually to generate sales and revenues that can help you. Just think, if you have an incredible Christmas and you have a real slump in January, February, wouldn't it be fantastic to have enough cash flow to get you over a bit of a slump? I mean, it's amazing to do this. Work with the distributors are amazing in the end. And if you can't find one who's going to work with you, change.
Yeah, find somebody that will.
Find somebody that will, because there's all sorts of ideas out there.
Yeah, and let's say I'm going to go back to a blow dry class because I think we don't do enough of them.
I don't think so either.
Because I don't think enough of our clients really know how to blow dry their hair correctly and are not using the right tools. So in a blow dry class, I would go to one of my distributors and I would say, I need to have all kinds of hot tools. I need blow dryers. I need flat irons. I need, curling irons, if anybody still uses them all the time. I need brushes. And I would like you to put them in here for me. And what I sell, I will pay for. And what doesn't sell, you'll take back.
You got it. Because remember what I said about Campbell's soup. You need to have a certain amount of product to generate the sale of one item. So part of what you're going to bring in is going to be really just display to move product out.
Yes, absolutely.
And a good distributor will be happy to work with you on that.
Yeah. In fact, if you have a sales consultant, why don't they come there and help?
And again, if it's a good sales consultant, they will be only too glad to help you move product through because it benefits them as well. Let's face it, most salespeople are on commission. And if you can sell product through, they're going to get a commission on it.
Yeah.
So it helps them. Get people working with you.
That's right. Don't do it on your own. Okay, so here is my favorite part.
Aha.
Because you can think about and you can create the best event ever, but if people don't know about it,
they're not going to show up.
They're not going to come.
And if you just whisper it,
yeah,
it just doesn't work. Why do we gather? We're going to have a sale here. Doesn't happen.
Yeah. And the other part is, and I hear people say this all the time, and it drives me crazy. It's like, oh, well, what if too many people show up?
Oh my goodness. That would be the most exciting thing that could happen. Because you had too many people showing up and spilling outside of the business.
But how many times have we had people say that to us?
So many.
Oh, well, I didn't want to send out too much, or I didn't want to put it out there too much. Put it everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it does. And this does not have to cost you a lot of money.
It doesn't. I want you to keep in mind, though, that, for every, say you've got room for 80 people in your space, you probably need to send out a good 500 plus invitations to get that many people coming. So, if you think, oh, I'm only going to invite 10 people because that's all that will fit. If you're going to invite 10 people, for goodness sake, send out at least 100, 150 invitations.
Yeah, for sure. And create a flyer. It's simple. It doesn't have to cost you a lot. You can go and create it yourself, or you can.
There's all sorts of free flyer templates online that you can use.
Absolutely.
And let's face it, good color printers are so cheap these days. And if you don't have one, take it over to your local Staples or whatever it is that
Kinko's
or whatever.
So create a flyer, but don't hide it. Put that flyer everywhere. Put it up in your space where people can see it. Beside each station, at the front desk.
In the bathroom.
Put it in the bathroom. So put that flyer. Use it as a bag stuffer. When clients are buying product, fold one up, put it in the retail bag.
Get everybody in the business, though, on board so that everybody is also talking about it and using that flyer. Say, did you notice that we've got an event coming up? And so that they can point it out. Get everybody on board with doing this.
Yeah. Put the flyer up on your website.
Oh my goodness. That is imperative.
And post on Facebook, but not once.
No.
You have to continue. Put it up in the weeks ahead. Put it up at least once a week. In the week of the event, put it up there every day.
You got it. Keep people sort of engaged with it, right?
And as we said, I really believe that the top 20% of your clients should receive a handwritten invitation.
Now listen, you are all Vagaro users. For goodness sakes, use the information that you've got in the database created by your program and pull out your top 20 users, 20% users, sorry, not your top 20, although those two, but make sure that, here it is. You're going to make use of this gold mine, but it would be really nice to send them a personal invitation.
Yeah. And I do believe that Vagaro has a really good graphics department that if you needed a flyer created, you may be able to talk to them at their graphics department, because I know they do some marketing pieces.
They actually have a pretty incredible marketing department.
So, and think about what other media will you use. So for instance, there's Twitter, there's
Instagram, Pinterest.
There's all of these things.
Use them. Make use of them. And if you're not sure how, find a local business development networking place will often hold free seminars on how to use social media to grow your business. Get involved in that, because this isn't going away. Media is one of the most important tools you will have in your business.
Yeah, and you cannot do these things if you're not willing to promote it.
You got it.
So it's all about promotion. So think about all the different medias, all the places that you can put it out. Like, are there other businesses in your area that you could take a flyer and put up in the business? You know, market with other people.
You know, and it takes us to that last point on here, Catherine. It's solicit prizes from distributors and local businesses. It's the same thing. Like, all of us benefit. Like, if you've got people coming in and out of your business on a regular basis, all the businesses around you are winners because of that, because you're generating traffic. So if you work together, imagine how incredibly successful you can make a whole block of businesses.
Oh, absolutely. And the biggest holdback to doing that is ourselves, because we are afraid to ask. And it's simply, I mean, don't be afraid of the word no.
No. In fact, the word no is probably one of the most important words to learn in the English language, because you find out how to go around it. I love the word no, actually, because it forces me to think, okay, this person said no, but I know they really mean yes. Now, how do I get them to say that?
Totally. So, you know, go out there, put yourself out there. You're never gonna sell an event by actually being just in your space. Go out there and share with other people. You know, if you have a coffee shop in your area, go and, you know, say, look, how can we do a cross promotion here? I'm going to have all these people in. It doesn't matter how many you're going to have. Just say, I'm going to have all these guests coming to my event. Would you like to give me $5 coffee cards? Yeah.
You know, one of the most successful salons in our city here, Catherine, is a salon in a neighborhood. It's kind of off the beaten path. It is definitely a location destination. And on their corner, there's about 3 small businesses. And it's amazing how the business of the salon has also driven the business of the 2 other businesses on either side of them.
Right.
Because it has become such a destination location. And the best thing that ever happened to those other businesses was being beside that business.
That business. Absolutely. So think outside of the box. That's you know, if you've listened to us before, we talk about that a lot, because I really believe in pushing people outside of their boxes.
Never be afraid of the word no. In fact, embrace it.
Yes, absolutely. So start making your list and thinking about how you could promote an event that you want to get out there. Okay, so who's managing the event?
Who's minding the store?
So, and this is, if you're only by yourself, then it's pretty simple. You are it. But if you're doing this within a whole salon, who's going to be the leader for the event? Who's going to take charge? Who's going to hold people accountable?
And who's going to define everyone's role and give them timelines? Because this is incredibly important, because this will secure the success of the event that happens, because somebody has to be the maestro of the event and sort of make sure that things go along on the timeline, that you've got things in order. If you've got a guest speaker and they're going to come on at 7 o'clock, you want to make sure that everybody is seated by 5 minutes ahead, before that. So, you have to start, say, ushering them at 10 to the hour. So you have to really, really create a precise timeline.
Yeah. And in my business, it's Tracy, one of my co-owners. She is the maestro of the event. Everything revolves around her, but she has a team of people who know what she expects of them at every step of the event. So that's how this is all about how you take an event, how you plan it, and how you manage it. And that's ultimately going to be, that's probably going to define how successful you are.
You got it.
So
organization.
Yeah, those are kind of the fundamentals of managing the event. I'm just going to go through a few. So this was our last, our skincare event. So hottest event of the year, beauty by nature. So that was your slogan. That was our slogan. So, and that was our very successful event. As you notice, very simple. Keep it simple.
Exactly. But there's a couple things here I'd really like to point out that's extremely important, is that get your tickets before they are all gone. Because what we want to do is create a certain sense of scarcity, that there's only so many tickets available and you better get them. Now, over the years, this has gotten to be one of the most important events in the community where the salon is. So everybody knows that the tickets are going to get sold out pretty darn fast.
Yeah.
So that scarcity has really worked.
We have, and notice we have their future reservation incentives, pre-booking incentives.
You got it.
And I will tell you that people line up for this event. They are outside long before the doors open.
In fact, was it last year or the year before, Catherine, that it was in the middle of a snowstorm? Was that last year or the year before? Last year. So Winnipeg had probably one of the most devastating snowstorms of the year on the day that you were holding it.
Yeah.
And you still had unbelievable turnout with people lined up before the doors even opened.
Yeah, it's quite interesting,
and,
for sure.
Okay, so a couple other things to really notice here. Feature product specials. Right? Now, again, to take advantage of these feature product specials, Catherine's team probably had to start looking at what they were going to do a good 3 or 4 months ahead of time to make sure that they had the right products in line.
Absolutely.
So, you have to really do some planning here. I love the free skin consultations, because you're telling them, like, what are the things that are going to happen here? Right?
Yeah, gift with purchase. And we always, and everyone should do prize draws in anything that you do.
Yes. Now, the other important thing, sorry, Kath, go back once more.
Sorry.
The other important thing on this,
I know,
back and forth, but I think what's really important here too is the fact that you have partnered with this company to put this event on.
Oh, for sure.
And that's what we really want you to think about, is that connection that you have with all the products in your business. Have somebody behind them. So partner with them. Use that to your advantage to grow your business.
Absolutely. So we need to move on. I'm just going to quickly go through these because we are going to talk about this just a little as we get along. Gift card promos. We do this every year. Buy 3 gift cards, 4th free. So we'll chat about that in a few minutes. But again, nice, simple, very simple promo. So this was our last event, which happened a few weeks ago. Was the setup for it. This was just before people started arriving. So it shows you, what are we all about here, Aileen?
I think it's about skincare.
Sales.
Oh, sales.
We are all about
Well, I fell down on that one, didn't I?
Look at this, today only.
For every $10 you spend, you get extra tickets to win prizes.
Yeah, isn't that what we want, to win prizes?
I want to win prizes, so I'm going to spend my money now.
Yeah, again, this is our setup. And this is typical of the events that we do.
Now, you often have an eminent specialist come in.
Yes.
This, right? So I think
we always do.
So again, a guest speaker.
All right. So we're going to talk now about how you are going to make more money in the next 6 weeks.
You got it.
Because anyone who breathes can do this.
You got it. And you can get started today. Maybe a lot of you are off today because it's Monday. So as soon as we finish this webinar, we want you to get cracking and put this into effect.
Because we every year, and we do this actually more than once a year. Aileen says, Mother's Day, we do it more than once a year. We put a gift certificate sale on. Buy 3, get 1 free.
There's a huge advantage to doing gift certificate sales. I know that, we often hear some resistance when we talk about this to business people, because they think, oh my gosh, I'm really discounting my services, et cetera, et cetera. But what you're really doing is you're getting your cash flow secured. And one of the things that I have found as a retailer is that, and it's kind of a strange thing, not everybody uses their gift certificate.
That is so true.
So it isn't the discount that you think it is.
No, it never is. the big thing is, you know, if people have already spent money, when they come into your space, they will spend more because they're not putting their hand in their pocket. So if they have $400 in gift certificate money, chances are they will actually spend more money with you anyway, because they'll purchase product. They'll, you know, do something different because they're actually not reaching and putting their hand in their pocket.
Exactly. So for example, because you do this for services and products, correct?
It's cash.
Yes.
So they
can do it whatever they want, right?
Yep.
So somebody says has a gift certificate for $50, and geez, well, this is the time I think I'm going to get my hair colored. So now all of a sudden they're spending money because, again, they didn't have to dip their hand into their pocket. So you actually end up making more money because you've given something sort of away.
And one thing I always caution, please, please, please put some of your gift certificate money in a savings account.
Yes, because again, think about why we're doing this. We are doing this to generate cash flow during perhaps a slower time or whatever. And also the gift certificate money, particularly if you have staff, right? You're getting their cash now for services later. So you want that cash available to pay yourself for when they bring it in.
Yeah. And the big thing is the 3 gift certificates that they buy and pay cash for, that's just like cash. You can't really put any restrictions on it, but the free gift certificate, you can put as many restrictions on it as you want. So we always put on, you know, the days of the week that they can use it, and it's slower days, timelines. We can say that this free gift certificate has to be used up by the end of March.
Right. So you got 1 in 4 gift certificates that have some restrictions on it.
Yes.
Okay. Isn't that a smart move, you guys? That's brilliant.
So we can control when those come in.
Yes, because one of the biggest problems with, say, coupons, et cetera, is, and we've seen this happen to lots of businesses, is not having those controls. And all of a sudden, the business being overwhelmed by gift certificates or coupons coming in within one time.
So November the 11th, we always do our gift certificate sale. It's Remembrance Day. We are closed on Remembrance Day. We open for a couple of hours in the middle of the day after 1 o'clock in our city, we can open for business. We still have to pay our staff time and a half for that day. For us, it's not worth bringing everybody in and paying time and a half. So we decided to take a negative and turn it into a positive. That's the day we do our gift certificate sale. 2 hours, we market the heck out of it. In less than 2 hours this year, we did $32,000 in gift certificate sales.
Oh, baby. And here's the benefit to that. It doesn't matter what size of salon you are. In this case, you can be a 500 square foot salon and virtually do the same thing.
So anybody, honestly, I believe that anybody that isn't really utilizing this strategy, you're leaving money on the table. Because, you know, I've said this before when I've talked about this before. One of our clients, her husband is an accountant, and she comes in and she buys like a lot of these. And he always says to her, you know, don't do that because you just end up spending more money. And I go, and she tells us this, you know, and I'm going, yes, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And she said, but I like doing it this way.
Yes, because because in a way it's sort of, she's buying in advance, right? And so it doesn't feel like she's spending money the next time she's coming in.
And we also encourage clients to give them away as a
gift,
Christmas present.
Yeah.
Or a gift, doesn't matter to whom, for somebody that has never been in our space before, because, you know, they're our raving fans. These clients are our raving fans. You know, share the wealth with your friends. And
if you have corporate clients, this is a great way for them to buy gifts for their female employees.
Yeah. We have a lawyer who does that. She has a big law firm in town, and she's a client, and this is what she uses to gift to all of her employees. every year. And then they all come together and take over our spa. And, Eileen is getting a phone call to take over our spa and, have services together. It's brilliant. So buy 3, get 1 free. You can do it today.
Exactly. Now, here's the other thing is, again, you are going to use your Vagaro gold mine of client base, and you're going to let everybody know about it, because
market. Send out. We were sending out emails. We had it all over our space, and it was on Facebook and Instagram right up until the morning that the sale was on.
And again, you probably invited your top 20% to take advantage of the gift certificates.
Absolutely. With our top 20%, they actually don't have to physically come into our space to get their gift certificates. We just take their credit card numbers.
Well, Kate, listen, can you just go back to the slide, though, with the gift card promo on it, though, Kath? Because I just think we should quickly go over that for its value. Because, again, I really love this one because, again, it's got sort of a little bit of a Christmas theme to it. But for 2.5 hours, this is what's going on. So take a look at this. And of course, by the way, Christine, we are going to send you the PDF, and we'll give you information about it at the end of the webinar and how to get it. Okay. But in the meantime, really take a look at this to see how you get the people totally excited about this. Yeah. Now, to me, this is a buying promo. Like when I see this kind of artwork, this creates a reaction in me that makes me want to spend money.
It looks festive.
It looks festive, but it also looks like I'm going to get something free. Well, I love free.
And I think everybody does. And I think, it's just a great way to do it. And when our clients come in and we do these things, they really enjoy it.
Exactly. So again, you're rewarding your clients. You're not only are you generating sales and cash flow, you're actually taking care of your clients at the same time. And this is a bonus.
Yeah. And, normally when you see your clients, it's all about you're working on them. This is a little bit different. This, you can actually visit with them.
You can.
Yeah. So, I think it makes such a difference. Is there a program that you use to create this slide? You know what? I'm not sure where we got this. We use the internet to find a lot of our pictures. Yeah. So, look at this. We're getting a cup of tea. Isn't that lovely? Thank you. Guess my husband thought we'd been talking so much that we could use something to...
Some lubrication.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so the next most important thing that you can do to generate income is going back to something that we talked about at the very beginning. And that is rebooking. If you rebook every single client that sits in your chair between now and the end of the year, seriously, you will be busy during January and February. Yeah. But we also know that a lot of you are afraid to ask people to come back. So here's a great idea for you to make it fun.
Yeah, and we call it the lucky dip draw.
The lucky dip draw.
So we on pieces of paper, we write out all kinds of different things. So we may have $5 off your next appointment, $10 off your next appointment. We may have a free treatment, all of these things. We have one large prize, which usually will consist of, and so because we have a salon and spa, so we may have a pedicure and we may have a color and a cut in there, as well as, maybe couple of other interesting things, but most of them are smaller kind of fun things that we reward our clients with. And really the criteria is all they have to do is pre-book their next appointment, reach into the fishbowl, pull it out, and there it is on their next appointment, which is in January and February.
Keep that in mind.
They can utilize whatever this prize is.
Right. So they have to come back to utilize the prize. Is that not clever or what?
And they don't have to hang on to that piece of paper because you use Vigaro. You can put it in your client's file.
Exactly.
That this is what you're going to do for them on their January or February visit. And I'll tell you, we have utilized this over and over and over and over and over again at different times of the year. It doesn't just have to be, because we all have different times where we know we have a lull.
You got it. Like, for example, October can often be a lully month.
Yeah.
A lully month. I've created a whole new word.
Yeah.
So keep this in mind, but a pre-booking draw. The other advantage to doing something like this is it actually trains your clients that you're going to be rebooking on a regular basis. It also takes the guesswork out of it for you, because we do know that some of you are shy and are afraid to ask your clients to come back. So this takes the pressure off you, because it's something fun.
Yeah. So, and then this is something, and we call it the lucky dip draw, not a pre-booking draw, because I think, for clients it's a different connotation. So, hey, this is, our lucky dip draw. All you have to do is pre-book your January or February appointment, and you get to pull out, and you can say, we have from everything from $5 off your next visit all the way up to a full color cut style, whether it's a $200 value. And everybody loves to pull those.
They do. We used to do a lot of balloon popping, balloon pooping.
Yeah.
Balloon popping. I better really be careful of my words here.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of thing. People are fascinated by doing things like that. Easter's coming up. We do an Easter egg one where, those plastic Easter eggs, and you'd pop open an Easter egg and have your prize in there. So there's all sorts of ways that you can use this pre-booking lucky dip draw to solidify your business.
So I'm expecting that a whole bunch of you that are listening tomorrow will have this one on your front desk.
Yes, please.
And
we want to hear about your successes. So when we get to the end of the webinar and give you all of our information, we're going to expect you guys to send us notes and tell us all about how successful you are with a couple of these ideas. Okay.
So that's an easy one. Really, really simple. And if you would like the PDF, all of these slides will be on the PDF. So you don't have to remember this. It is all on there for you. So we'll tell you how you can request a copy of the PDF at the very end. And then I know, Aileen, you'd love this.
I do, because I really believe that the front desk is a place for, of course, Catherine, that I love the add-on sale, and the front desk is the perfect place for the add-on sale. This is a place that you want to have people, when they're standing there waiting for you to ring them out, there's all sorts of things to capture your attention. And it is unbelievable how much people will stop and pick something up. So we're talking about, especially at this time of year, all the little stocking stuffers, the hand lotions, travel sizes of all the products you carry. Don't forget brushes and combs and the gift wrap product.
Yeah, we want to make it as easy as possible for clients to spend money with us.
Exactly. And, the add-on sale, imagine if you can increase your sales by $10 per client over the next 6 weeks. Think about that. That's huge. $10 per client. That's just huge dollars for you, though, in your cash flow. Please never underestimate it. However, I do want to make a cautionary note here, because this is one of my pet peeves, and that's allowing your stock to dwindle. So if you start out with 6 pieces, and all of a sudden, and there's room in the display for 6 pieces, and now all of a sudden you've only got 3, it's unattractive.
Fill it up.
Fill it up. As we said before, when you are making sales, you have to have so many products to sell one. And for some reason, people don't like buying one of the last 3. They want to buy one of the first 6. Isn't it funny?
Yeah, they do.
The sales psychology. Really think about it, right? So always keep your point of sale products really
displayed.
Displayed well.
And
right?
the other thing is, don't be afraid to ask. Say to your clients when you bring them up, now, do you need any stocking stuffers? Do you need any last minute little little things, because have a look around. We have some great things, you know, and have samples there for people to try the smells and everything else, because that catches them.
Exactly. And of course, and I love the idea of brushes and combs at the desk, because brushes and combs are just a great profit maker. But if somebody has purchased product from you, or they've just had a haircut or a color or a service or anything, you know, it's like, oh, now how are we doing for brushes at home? It's just as simple as that, right? If they say no, they say no. But it's amazing how many people actually, in fact, the statistics say that 3 out of 10 people will say yes.
And what's really interesting is, because we have a hair loss center and we ask everybody that comes in if they brush their hair, because that goes a long way to helping with hair loss prevention. Most people, number one, don't brush their hair. Number two, they don't have a good brush. So talk to them about the benefits of everybody having a good brush.
Yeah.
And brushing their hair.
And brushing their hair.
Not tell them not to brush their hair, because it honestly is one of the things that everybody should do to help stimulate their scalp.
Right. And here's the thing, is a boer brush is an expensive purchase. But guess what? There's a huge profit in it for you. So it is in your best interest to make sure your clients are brushing their hair.
Excellent. Well, I hope everybody took at least, as I always say, one golden nugget away from this. I hope that you will initiate one of the ideas that we gave you to help make your holiday season more profitable. And I really hope that you will really think about event planning for next year.
Exactly. And we'll probably be talking about that in January again when we get into goal setting.
Yeah. And December, I think we're going to do goal setting in December. I think we're going to talk about making your 2016.
Well, it would make more sense to do it next month, I think. So
yeah.
let's so make sure you come back and we can all talk about that.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Kath, let's give them our information.
Absolutely.
If you would like a copy of this PDF, send us an email to info@theprofitablesalonowner.com, because then we'll have your email information, and we will send you back a copy of the PDF from today. And never forget that, of course, we are at www.theprofitablesalonowner.com. And if you actually go on our website, there is a spot where you can sign up for our newsletter, which comes out every Monday morning and is absolutely free. It's our way of giving back to our community. So thank all of you so much for being on the call today. We've so enjoyed having you, and just love seeing your names show up on our screen. Thank you so much. And thanks, Garo, for being here today.
Yeah. And I believe that December 14th will be our
next webinar.
So hopefully you have all found some profit between.
Yes. And if you can be on the next call, we want to see a whole bunch of notes in the side there telling us about the success you had because of today. So take care, everybody, and have a wonderful and profitable week.
Month. Wonderful and profitable month. And happy Thanksgiving to all of our U.S. Listeners.
You got it.
And we'll see you in December.
Take care, everybody.